When I first started my cinematography journey back in 2016, I wish I came across a video like this. When you start your cinematography journey, most of your budget will go on your camera, your lenses, your audio, your lighting and things like that. Once you've spent your money on all these things, you might have some change laying around. So today I will discuss 5 items for $50 and under that will instantly improve your cinematography. This item is very important, especially when you want to look after your camera equipment and your lenses. The item in mind is lens wipes. When you're coming back from different projects, there might be different environments where there might be sand, for example, when you're filming on the beach, or there might be dust. This can gather on the lens, which will affect your overall image. You may also end up with smudges on your lens. This is when the lens wipe comes in handy. You can remove these smudges and carry on with your project. You can also pair the lens wipes with a microfiber cloth, which can be used to clean your lens and not cause any scratches. So this is the first item I would recommend in your cinematography kit. You can pick up a box of lens wipes, a box of 200 for £20 from Amazon. And I would highly recommend to have this in your kit list. As you may know, when it comes to cinematography, there's a certain rule you have to follow, and that is called the 180-degree rule. When it comes to the 180-degree rule for exposure, your shutter speed has to be double your frame rate. For an example, when you're filming in 25 frames per second, your shutter speed has to be double your frame rate, which is 50. You may also want a high aperture to achieve that blurry background that shallows up the field. So now what do? Well, this is when the ND filter comes in handy. This is the K&F Concept 82mm ND filter. It's a variable ND filter. ND stands for neutral density. So this is like putting sunglasses onto your lens. It makes the image darker, which allows you to put the shutter speed double the frame rate. I would recommend to get the widest ND filter that's available. With the widest ND filter, you can step that down with step-up rings and step-down rings, which means you can use them on your other lenses. An ND filter is a must, especially when it comes to cinematography. You can't put your shutter speed way above your frame rate without an ND filter. You can pick this variable ND filter by K&F Concept from Amazon for around £28. So to summarize, you cannot double your shutter speed from your frame rate without this ND filter in bright environments. So make sure you get an ND filter, and this is the one I would highly recommend. When it comes to cinematography, the vintage look is often favoured. We use filters like Pro-Mist filters, and we often add halation in post-production. These are some of the techniques we use to aim for that vintage look. If I told you there's a lens available under £50 that creates a swirly bokeh and that vintage kind of look, here is the Helios 44M. You can pick up this lens under £50. It is an M4 mount and it can be adapted to pretty much all cameras. This lens is honestly underrated, and for the price it is amazing. The more that I use this lens, the more that it surprises me. The footage that I get from this lens honestly amazes me. This lens has character. The swirly bokeh that you get from this cannot be recreated with any other lens. This is why I always carry this lens when I'm working on my projects. When I want to achieve that dreamy look, this is the lens that I'm always using. This lens was also used in Batman for one of the scenes. It just goes to show that this lens is amazing. Movies like Batman, they have high productions and high budgets, but they're still up for a lens like this. This further shows that this lens is powerful, and the images you get from this cannot be recreated with any other lens. For movies like Batman, they have high budgets. They use the high-end lenses. Did they use a Helios for one of the scenes? Well, this lens creates character, that vintage dreamy look. So I would highly recommend this lens if you want that dreamy look with a swirly bokeh. When it comes to cinematography, once you've spent your money on your camera and your lens, you might not have the budget for stabilizers and gimbals. There is a tool available under £30 that will allow you to achieve unique perspectives and angles, and that is a magic arm. This is from a company called Small Rig, which is well known in the cinematography industry. With this tool, you can achieve unique perspectives and angles, whether they be from items, surfaces, or places where tripods cannot reach. So I would highly recommend this in your cinematography kit when you're starting out. It doesn't cost much, and you can achieve unique perspectives and angles. So moving on to the final item, you can pick up a lens for under £50. Well, it's not really a lens, it's a lens mug. The reason why I would add this to the cinematography list is you will look cool on set with this. It's an insulated lens mug. You can drink your coffee and tea on set while looking cool. Instead of drinking from a boring mug or a boring paper cup, you've got this lens mug. This lens mug is definitely under £30. It looks quite cool. It's a cool accessory to have on your desk or when you're on set. This is why I would recommend this as a fifth and final item. It probably won't help you as a cinematographer, but it will definitely help you look cool. If you would like to purchase any of the equipment mentioned, I do have some Amazon affiliate links below. So if you purchase that, it would really help me out as a creator. If you have watched the video to this point, I really appreciate the support. I am aiming to post once a week and other projects throughout, whether it be documentaries, short films, or travel films. There's more content coming out soon. You can practice catching the lens with the lens mug before doing with the real lens. That will help you look cool as a cinematographer. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.